Still Mills, what's the dizzle, man? Fresh off the plantation and all that. Had a nice short work day, man. So I'm finna go to Jimmy John's and head home. But man, man, I just went and I went and looked at some of the content on YouTube off of these LDBC niggas with the Wilder, and not the Wilder, but with the Joshua Fury fight being signed, and these niggas is having a meltdown of epidemic proportions. It's funny, it's frustrating, and it's funny, man. It's frustrating in the sense that it's just like, man, y'all just gonna have to let some shit go. But it's funny in the sense that they won't let the shit go, man. Cognitive dissonance is just really setting in with these cats, man. And they just refuse to believe that Fury is moving on to greener pastures. And just, it's like the bitter baby mama. As dead as how it looks, man. It's the bitter baby mama, man. You know, Fanon is trying to talk about Fury cheated in the first and the second fight, so he needs to give Deontay, and he's not honoring his contract, so he needs to give Deontay Wilder 10% of his purse for the rest of his career. And it's just like, this shit is really getting, you know, wicked with these cats. Like, oh my Lord, man, the brother lost. We just gotta let it go, man, and hope Deontay, hope Joshua knocks him off. I'm gonna keep repeating that, man. But just listening to these cats speak, you know, and that was getting to it. You know, it gets sinister when, you know, you start adding in, you know, the you know, the homosexual connotations to motherfuckers. You know, it's slanderous as all hell. You know, it's not. It gets to a point where it's like, all right, it's satire for a minute, but then it gets to a point where it's like, all right, bro, like, now this shit is just really getting extra. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be that mad. You know, with, oh man, this cat, man, this little cap ass fight announcement and all that. And, you know, like I said, I don't follow announcements and contracts and all that shit closely. Only thing I follow is the fight, and if I can, the training camp. But to my knowledge, I mean, not even to my knowledge, from what I've seen, from what people are, you know, counteracting that, talking about how this is cap, the fight being announced is cap. Oh, they, you know, 29 days, they ain't even announced the venue yet. And allegedly it was the same scenario with Wilder and Fury. It was the same thing. It was literally the exact. They didn't have a venue penciled in when they announced the fight between them two. So why is this so imperative now? And this is a much bigger fight. A much bigger fight. It means more. Two Brits fighting, you know, for undisputed. This is the biggest British, you know, the biggest fight in British history. This is, you know, it's just a lot more that is going to garner the attention and the economics of the people as far as this fight is concerned. So I just don't understand where's the same energy. You know, like I said, man, it's just really getting to a point where it's more sinister. You know what I'm saying? It's more sinister, and it's corny. It really is corny as fuck. It just is what it is, man. It's corny as fuck. It's lame. Y'all just have to learn to accept defeat, man. The agony of defeat, man. Shout out to Funkadelic. It is what it is. He lost, bro. You can't be mad that he lost. I mean, you could be mad, but shit, there's nothing that you can do about it. And this is what I'm talking about when people get behind these passwords and usernames and really just start, you know, they get in a really comfortable state where they can pop off at the mouth and just really get extra out with the shit. What's to stop a motherfucker from coming? I mean, how they got, you know, how the BFTB, how he got, oh shit, how he got motherfucking Anthony Joshua looking. I'm just like, bro, like this shit is, that's violation. Like, what if a motherfucker was to run down on you for that? Like, nah, man, he run up on you. What tools do you have at your disposal to fend off the enemy if he was to come at you pressing? That's what I'm saying. Even as content creators, it's a responsibility you have. It's a responsibility that you have to your public, the people who, your followers, your supporters, and just your goddamn self. Because I mean, this shit is really getting to a point where it's like, man, it's corny. It's cool to be a fan of a fan and a supporter and a follower of one fighter, and not be the biggest supporter of another. There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. When you're talking about sports, we talking pride. That's just what it is, man. But when it gets to the point where it's like this, because I'm not gonna front, man. Like, I couldn't be a celebrity because I'd be a nigga who, I want to know whoever's saying something extra, and if we can, if possible, I'm gonna put motherfucking, I'm trying to find out where niggas is at. I'm gonna be paying motherfuckers to find out where he at, and do the damn thing, because that shit just ain't cool. It's not cool at all, man. These are still human beings at the end of the day, man. And when you get to, where it comes off as, you're slandering motherfuckers because you don't like what the fuck is going on, and you don't like that the fight is being announced, and you don't like a particular fighter, even with teams, man. I mean, shit. I remember my second trip to LA, I had on a Paul Pierce jersey. It was a throwback. This when throwbacks was a thing. I had on a Paul Pierce jersey, and this dude screamed out on Hollywood Boulevard, fuck the Celtics. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing wrong with having pride in your team. You dig what I'm saying? People do that. People do that. Rivalry is one thing, man, but when it gets to the point where it escapes rivalry and it becomes something much more, it becomes beef. That's where it's like, now y'all got to learn to draw the line, because one thing with content creators, they don't understand the position that they have as far, they're in positions of power. You have followers, man, and your followers, it's worse when they're coming out of pocket to hear your content. Oh shit, I'm putting that's church. Them niggas is going to church on YouTube. They hang on to your every word. They reference your talking points and debates. You're a guru to them. They're coming to you for information, and they're looking for you. They're looking for you to do all the research, so they can, all right, cool, I'm not being steered wrong here. And so naturally, with that, it comes a sense of a cult-like behavior. None of them niggas ain't gonna do shit to no Anthony Joshua. But the energy that you giving off, had they ever came across an Anthony Joshua, you just got somebody fucked up. The dude who ran up on Jarrell Miller with all the extra shit, talking to you to stop with the drugs and this and that and the 30, told that nigga, man, don't get knocked the fuck out, B. Don't get knocked the fuck out. And when he put that pressure, I mean, you can say whatever it is you want about the bottom 50, bottom 100 boxers, ranked boxers. The average nigga is not going to be able to deal with them. So when with these content creators, when you step off into the, you go into oblivion with a lot of the, your logic and your disdain for them, that's going to have a profound effect on your followers and your supporters. So when they go, and when they just happen to come across a motherfucker that you got some sort of vitriol for, they gonna take it up on themselves. Man, I held it down for the big homie, and you just got somebody crash. You know what I'm saying? So it gets to a point where y'all gotta be like, all right, bro, like, I'm not feeling this fight. I'm not feeling it. You gotta take a step back and just be the responsible human being. Be responsible with it. You know what I'm saying? Just stop pushing this narrative that man, that Wilder got cheated. He didn't. He lost. He lost. That's slander. That's a lawsuit right there. Technically, he could take that man to court. And as we've seen, Wilder has no legs to stand on, figuratively and literally in this situation. He has no legs to stand on. And y'all just don't want to accept that fact. And y'all are in y'all feelings. This is emotional. This is emotion. It's nothing more than, you know, y'all are emotional over the situation. So it's just, y'all just, man, y'all look bitter as fuck. Like bitter baby mamas. You can be mad that your man lost. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to feel some type of way if Anthony Joshua lose. I felt some type of way when Ruiz beat him. I'm a fan of these dudes. I'm going to feel some type of way if Canelo lose. I'm going to feel some type of way if Bud lose. I felt some type of way when Manny lost to Floyd. I was a bigger fan of Manny. You dig? So, you know, I'm invested in them. Like, I'm like, man, fuck, man. Because you don't want to have to deal with the fact that, man, my man lost, so now I got to hear from all these bitch-ass niggas on Facebook and motherfuckers calling my phone. You don't want to deal with that. But, you know, it ain't nothing, you know, it ain't nothing, you know, it's like, I don't feel no sort of animosity towards him, but he's just like, man, I got to hear this shit. Don't nobody want a person that they rooting for to lose. But when that shit happens, you just got to face reality. And that's what these cats got to do. They just got to face reality. It is what it is, man. But it's the slander and shit, and just, I'm just looking at just how, just, it's childish at this point. It can't even just be, you know, your personal opinion. But now you got to, you know, when a motherfucker get to talking some gay shit to me, I'm in my feelings. When you got the, you know, I fell out with a dude on Facebook that I was cool, and just every morning, you know, you sucking Eminem's dick. You know, Eminem is in my top 5. You sucking Eminem dick. You niggas just faggots and this and that. Like, we don't live in the same city. He's clear in Oklahoma, so it ain't like I can be like, all right, my nigga, yo, we gotta have this conversation in person, cause you really pissing me the fuck off. You can't get to him, so you just gotta eat that. You got to eat that, but in the process of you eating that, they not understanding you got me fucked up, so it just keeps, you know, it keeps going on and on and on. And then by the time you finally ready to snap, you say some shit that you be like, yo, man, I really shouldn't have said that. But you can't help it because all the animosity you got built and pent up towards this motherfucker. So now you look at these cats right here and all the shit that they got with Anthony Joshua, and they just got this dude looking off on some gay shit and just, it's just corny, bro. It comes off as corny. It's funny. Corny shit is funny. But it's corny nonetheless, man. And y'all niggas look like busters right now because your man got crashed, bro. Like, that ain't the move. Accept the L and move on and pray to God that Anthony Joshua beats Tyson Fury so Deontay Wilder can get another shot at a title. But also hold him to the same standard that he's inactive. He's been off for well over a year. He hasn't fought in well over a year. It's no fight date. It's no set opponent that he's looking towards. It's none of that. They talking about Andy Ruiz Jr. And Andy Ruiz Jr. is about to fight fucking Chris Arreola. All right, cool. We got a fight date, and we know who Ruiz got in the scope. We know that. Who is Wilder got in the scope? Charles Martin is no longer a fucking. It's looking like he ain't even a. That isn't even being discussed and entertained anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, where's all the energy towards Deontay Wilder? Because he's not getting that third fight with Fury. It's just not, at least not right now. Not this year. He's tied up for a whole fucking year. So where else are we going to go? So I'm saying, man, y'all cats really need to stop with the cornball shit, man. Like, you niggas look like hoes right now, bro. That's on my mama y'all do. Some of the shit is funny, but even the shit that's funny, it's like, man, you niggas is really on some sucker shit. Like that, y'all niggas like busters out here. Cold busters doing this shit. Oh, man, you niggas is gay. Man, fuck out of here, bro. Like, and a lot of you niggas is not tough. You know, you get, for the most part, you can tell who's a thoroughbred, you know what I'm saying? You can tell who with it. And some motherfuckers, you could just be like, man, if a nigga run up on you, you gonna fold. You ain't holding nobody down. And that's where this internet shit gets, that's, you know, that niggas get complacent in that. Because I can speak my mind on here and be comfortable with it, and I never have to be in your face and tell you, I can tell you this from clear across the pond or clear, you know, hundreds of thousands of miles away from you, and it ain't shit you can do about it. You dig what I'm saying? You're never gonna see me in person. That shit is back. That shit is whack. Have some decorum when you come on these platforms, man, and speaking on a motherfucker. You cannot. I'm not a fan of Deontay Wilder as a fight. I'm not. I dread him as a boxer. I respect the right hand, but as a boxer, I dread him. I'm not a fan of him whatsoever. I ain't about to get on here and disparage him to the point where it's like, man, that nigga really hate Wilder. No, I will never do that. Because it's just not the move. That's not the move. That's some, y'all niggas is marks for that shit, man. Like, grow the fuck up. Stop with the slander shit. He lost. Accept it. Wilder and Fury is not happening. At least not for a year. But Fury and Joshua is happening. Deal with it, homie. Like and subscribe. Let me know if I'm burnt the fuck out or if I'm on to something, man. Peace.